Hello everyone, and a happy Noirvember to you all. Wonderful, one of my favorite times of the year. Just perfect excuse to dive into as many and as plentiful noir films as ever. My name is Zach, and I like movies, and I love noir movies. And today is another entry in my Letterboxd Criterion challenge for 2024. And today's prompt was number 48, which was to watch a movie from the 90s. And I chose a criminally underseen little seedy noir movie from the 90s when they had that revival from especially with within the boom of the 90s indie movie boom. It is a movie from Carl Franklin. It is One False Move. This is a really interesting movie, and it's quite a sizzler. So it's actually how this came out. This movie both co-stars and was co-written by Billy Bob Thornton, and his buddy, and the other co-writer was his buddy Tom Epperson at the time. The two of them, they had kind of starts and stops and making it in Hollywood. Billy had his music with his band, and Tom was trying to make it as a crime novelist. But eventually they sort of pair together, and they wrote the script for this movie that it was originally called Hurricane, or was Color Me Bad, then Hurricane, and then eventually One False Move, and this was directed by Carl Franklin, who was another underappreciated talent. He's very talented. He had a lot of work around the time. He had a lot of work in the 80s in television, appearances on the A-Team and Hill Street Blues, but he was kind of fed up not having as much opportunities as a black actor at the time. So he went to AFI under the directing program, and when he graduated from that, he started learning the ropes from Roger Corman, a literal hero to all. And so eventually, Franklin and Billy Bob's and Tom's paths crossed, and finally, One False Move was greenlit, and they got to work, and they shot so it's what it's about. It started, and this is quite the note to start on. So it starts in L.A. One night, and two drug dealers do a house invasion, and it's really tense. It's really sudden and very shocking. You have Billy Bob, and one of them is played by Billy Bob Thornton. He is Ray Malcolm. He's this absolute, just total dirtbag. He's just look at him. He doesn't really. He looks like he's covered in dirt all the time. He's coarse, swears all the time. He has this awful looking ponytail, which is just a gross combo with his his fading, it's clearly thinning hair up top. He's quite the character, but he's like a rabid dog. But next to him is a guy, Pluto, who's played by Malcolm Beach. Very, very well played by Malcolm Beach. He's the cool, calm, collected one, and because he'll all right, let's play it cool. He's the one who has a lid on things. He just let's not. He's basically the one who has the leash on Billy Bob. Just hey, chill, man. But also with them is Fantasia, played by Cynda Williams. And her real name, we learn her real name is Lila, and she's Ray's girlfriend, and she kind of helps out invade this house, and take the drugs that were there, take the money that was there, and they get them from connection there, and it's really tense, it's really sudden, and there's a really creepy moment where Pluto gets to work. They had them all tied up on the floor, and then methodically puts a rag over their heads and just stabs them. And as the camera's pushing in and he's stabbing them, it pushes in on past him onto the television that was playing videotape of everyone that was there, or that was they were dancing and partying and have a good time. It's quite a note to open on. It's really disturbing. And then oh man, there's a scene immediately after that, Fantasia is like looking around this the dark house, looking for a kid that was there too, and she's like, oh, she's looking around, and then she sees the kid. Is she gonna say something? Is she gonna lead this kid to their death? But she doesn't. But that's how these two LAP detectives get one of their leads on them, and so the two detectives, they're played by Jim Metzler and Earl Billings. They get word out to Star City, Arkansas, which is like small Arkansas town, where the sheriff there hooks up with them. He's very excited for this, and he's Sheriff Dale Hurricane Dixon, played by the God I miss him every day, Bill Paxton. And man, he's so good. He's so great in this. Every time I see Bill Paxton, no matter how small the role, he lights up the screen. He's like a good luck charm. And having him, it's always great having him in a lead role, especially like here. And like I felt kind of nostalgic, because this was like a sort of like almost a precursor to A Simple Plan, which is another great underrated 90s noir with Paxton and Billy Bob. Really, really, really good. So the detectives fly down, and it's kind of two splitting plot lines, where you have the three criminals. They're like driving down to Arkansas for reasons, and along the way they're gonna like stop and do and sell the drugs and all that. And you have Paxton and the detectives. They're just like waiting in town, ready to hit them off the pass. And it's a movie, and this movie, with that setup, you can basically tell where it's going to end up. Obviously, their paths are going to cross, and there will be confrontations and upsetting violence, similar to that opening. Like, sheesh. And but it's the journey to get to that confrontation that I think really makes this movie worth it. Especially, because Carl Franklin, he directs the hell out of this. He has such a clear, like, confident patience. Especially, this was like a pretty, I don't know if it was like his debut movie, but it was certainly one of his, like, the biggest project he had at the time. This was like made for only like $2 million, and it was a big risk for them. The starving artists who were like just finally catching something of a break. And he stages these such wonderful moments of like slow pressure cooking tension, where you have with the criminals, like there would be like a moment where they're like just sitting, standing around at the convenience store, and then a sheriff on patrol walks in. So is Ray, the rabid dog that he is, gonna do something? Is Pluto and Lila gonna keep things cool? Are they gonna move? Are they just gonna move on? What's gonna happen there? And a thing happens there that's it's on the cover, and that scene's marvelous. But then you have like a more almost laid back stuff going on between Paxton and the detectives, because he's super like gun ho for just finally getting a big time, and he feels like it's kind of like he's got something to prove, but he's like super excited and enthusiastic about it, and like Paxton plays with this like real shucks kind of demeanor, but eventually like you get a real hint of like, oh, he's got something under him, because like he's just like showing them around the town, showing them how he's just like knows everybody, and then he like treats the two of them to a nice just a cookout dinner at his house, and he just casually drops the N-word, I should have mentioned one of the detectives is black, and he's sitting right next to him. It's like, what? Like, whoa, wait. And sure you could like, but sure you could like just, he's an Arkansas boy. He was raised in like 70s Arkansas. Like that probably just how he was raised and how he just grew up talking. But at the same time, that does give you the first hint that there's something more to Paxton. And the more the movie goes on, and the more that and the closer we get to that final confrontation, the more layers get peeled back, and the more that Paxton's little, is like very kind of very, very pleasant demeanor just sort of like peels back into a more noirish lead. He's very where there are like secrets from his past that he's trying to keep buried and he's denying, and there's like relationships that he knows, and he's just trying to just like he wants nothing to do with it. He just wants to wash his hands clean of this. But obviously he can't. And I don't want to say what those relationships are and what that reveal is, because it was quite like, because it drops like a bomb in this scene, and man, it was like, sheesh. It's a real tensor, and also like this movie like really when it has moments to like really show off the landscape and the environment, both of this like small town, this like small Midwest town, or just this kind of like road crime movie that the three criminals are on. It really takes nice, like obviously this scene with the sheriff is like wonderfully shot. It's shot from a distance in this like gorgeous dark. It's gorgeous in the darkness. There's only like the lights inside the car illuminating them, lights the headlights. It looks great. And then there's like moments where like we're following a bus in this this wonderful looking wide shot. That's following this bus, just making a stop. And as a crop duster is just flying over, just like, and it's, oh man, it's just moments like that really show that like Franklin really had a strong eye, even despite the limitations of the budget. He knows he clearly had a vision, and it's a really compelling one, and also I think in the environment, and also has compassion for the characters and the actors involved. There's such a sense, and there's a strong sense of like better understanding who they are. The more we like sit with them, the more that like their sort of truer selves get revealed and even where it leads, the ending might come off as a bit much, but I do appreciate how this movie also brings up aspects of race, because I should have mentioned Cynda. If you don't know who Cynda Williams is, she's black, and there's interesting dynamics between her and a relationship with Billy Bob. There's interesting like reaction shots where we see Paxton sort of like looking at certain black characters, and it's not like a sneer. It's not like a obvious sneering or dismissiveness, but there is a sort of question like, what is he thinking? Because especially when he like just kind of casually drops the N-word like that, which is we're left further thinking, what are you saying when you look at this character, or when you're hearing these the moments where he's like hearing the LA detectives just like finally let out their like just barely concealed contempt for like the small town sheriff and his like ambitions, and it like when it would hold on, or either hold or like get this gradual pull into his face as he's hearing himself be demeaned, or he's staring at a character, and you wonder not just his intentions or his internal feelings, but like what is the relationship here now. And I'm talking around certain characters and certain relationships, because a part of that reveal is part of the draw of the movie. It's a great reveal, and I don't want to give it away. It's really good, and it's a movie that really knows how to build suspense in very interesting ways. And I really like the way that whether it's through its guitar heavy score and scenes that are like splashing this guy playing a harmonica, just going ham on it, and the way that we just sort of like sit and stew and soak in this atmosphere and really it's and man, it really like feels less like a crime thriller and more like this sort of a neo-noir tinged western. You know, it's a little, you know, in a way it's a little high noonish. Like we know what's coming. We're just waiting for it to arrive at the station. And yeah, it's criminally underrated. I think it's great performances. Paxton, God, I miss that guy. Like I said, anytime he was on screen, and he was a great example of there is no such thing as no small roles. He lights up the screen. He's so likable. He's very charming, and especially when he got the chance to play a lead like this, he's able to like show his stuff. He wasn't just like a charming character actor. He could really deliver the goods when he needed to. And of course, and also you have Billy Bob Thornton, who's just a total scumbag in this. He's really great in this, and we really should credit this movie for why we got a movie like Screenplay, which is what's kind of his other like really big leap in fame and acclaim in the 90s. But also I really gotta shout out Michael Beach here, playing Pluto. He's much more he's like there are spots where he's like clearly like just openly frustrated and just fed up with Ray just being a complete bastard. He's like, you're screwing up the plans all the time. You're too much of a wild card. But like the way his like just cool, easy demeanor, the way he just stares at the way he just stares at you behind his glasses, you know he's got danger in him. You don't know when, you don't know how, but you know he's got danger. And it's great, wonderfully directed, really nice, gradual, patient, Western vibes. I love it. I love these like neo-noir, this like neo-noir revival through the 90s, like between movies like this and of course LA Confidential and Last Seduction. And A Simple Plan. There was 90s I'm not sure what was going on in the 90s, but between like its great boon in independent filmmaking and the mini majors and these awesome exploits of genre, of the varieties of genre, I'm so glad that there was such a hunger for noirs like this. There's a lot of great good ones, and I can't wait to. And it's Noirvember, and I've already dove into like at least three really great ones, and yeah, this was one of them. So yeah, definitely check this out. Also, I have to say this transfer on this Criterion is really good, but felt a little lacking in some of the supplements. There's a great conversation between Carl Franklin and Billy Bob Thornton that I would recommend if you enjoyed the movie. And also, since I'm me, I have another recommendation for you, and it's another 90s another 90s neo-noir directed by Carl Franklin, another criminally underseen movie called The Devil in a Blue Dress. And yeah, it's Denzel Washington. He's a classic 1940s private eye, and it's wonderful. And yeah, gotta recommend that. Highly recommend One False Move. It's marvelous. And happy Noirvember. Also, happy Election Day. If you haven't voted yet, go out and vote. Oh, I already had my vote casted a couple weeks ago, like about as soon as early voting started in Florida right now. But yeah, that's it for me. I look forward to watching more movies because I am Zach and I like movies. I have a lot more movies to watch, and I hope you watch movies too, and I will see you all next time.